Burton. Let's give Norma some applause.
Well, Happy New Year, everybody. Glad to be with you. Glad that we can come together as spiritual friends and encourage one another in the new year. It's a time when we like to refresh our spirits and we ask ourselves, what does life have in store for me this year? What changes will life demand of me? As we look back over the last year, we know lots of unexpected things can come along. You never really know what the year has in store. So this new year is a good time to remind ourselves that one of the central teachings of our unity faith is that revelation is never sealed. I like that about our faith because it means that Spirit, God, the universe is always revealing new things to us. So that's pretty exciting because it means that we have open hearts, open ears, open eyes, and we can actually see things that may have never been revealed before. The Holy is always offering ways for our lives and our world to be made new. So I'm happy to have this opportunity to begin again with you for a fresh start. Happy you've chosen to be here with one another too. And right now I'd like you just to turn to the persons next to you, somebody you don't know if you have to turn around. You take a minute to disentangle the cord down here. There we go. Yeah, it'll be better for the long run. So, by way of creating our sacred space together today, I'd like to read an excerpt from a poem by one of my favorite theologians, John O'Donoghue, the Irish priest. So you might want to close your eyes, just let this soak in as a way of setting our sacred space together. I place on the altar of dawn the quiet loyalty of my breath, the tent of thought where I shelter, wave of desire I am sure to, wave of desire I am sure to. And all beauty drawn to the eye. May my mind come alive today to the invisible geography that invites me to new frontiers, to break the dead shell of yesterdays, to risk being disturbed and changed. May I have the courage today to live the life that I would love, to postpone my dream no longer, but do at last what I came here for, and waste my heart on fear no more. Can you all say amen to that? Amen. And I'd like Cerise to come forward. So thankful for Richard and Cerise this morning leading our music. And we're going to do a segue from last week when we did the burning bowl ceremony. We were releasing and letting go of things so we could enter into this new year. And we're reminding you of that by starting in with I release and I let go. So we're still in that shedding process as we're walking into this new year. It's a good song to get up and move with and have some fun with, so let's sing it.
Good morning. If you would feel comfortable rising in body or in spirit and just feeling the length of this amazing holy container of your body, standing tall, ready to walk out into the new year, ready to move forward in hope, and ready to let go, as this song says, I'm only here for love. I'm only here for love, right? We're going to take this body and move it out in the new year in love. With my faith I walk in only here for love.
Thankful to be in these human bodies and to be full of your spirit today, to be full of life energy and to be able to share with one another from the depths of our passion and our creativity, to be able to form this circle here today in which we welcome you, we welcome your presence, the presence that's in nature all around us, the presence that's in the animals and the plants and all living creatures is here today, right here in our midst. And we do open our hearts wider, while we're sitting here today, while we're thinking and taking everything in. We want it to be a time when we really commune with you and with one another on a deeper level. So come, be with us now. We're only here for you. We're only here for love. Aho. Aho. You may be seated. Are there any children under 18 in our midst who'd like to come up and be blessed? As they go out to their Sunday school. We call it their mystery school. Actually, we're all here in a mystery school, don't you know? And we're so happy to have you kids be here with us so that, you know, when they go out to their Sunday school, their mystery school class, it's pretty unique. And I want you to spread the word around town because they get affirmed in their spirituality, their budding spirituality that they have. They're being taught how to meditate, and how to go within and how to see the difference in their different states of feeling and then to connect with spirit. So we're so glad to have you guys with us, and we like to sing to them the song, The Face of God, because we see in you the face of God. We see in one another the face of God. So let's sing it together with Ceresa's help.
You are the face of God. I hold you in my arms. You are a part of me. You are the face of God.
Now you kids look at each other and see if you can see the face of God in each other. Brothers, you know, the face of God. Okay, here we go, one more time.
You are the face of God. I hold you in my arms. You are a part of me. You are the face of God.
Thanks, Patrice. You can go out to your class. Thanks for being here. Well, thinking about New Year's, I read this week someone's wishes for the new year. They went like this. May your hair, your teeth, your facelift, your abs, and your stocks not fall. And may your blood pressure, your triglycerides, your cholesterol, your white blood count, and your mortgage interest not rise. May you get a clean bill of health from your dentist, your cardiologist, your gastroenterologist, your urologist, your proctologist, your podiatrist, your psychiatrist, your plumber, and the IRS. May you find a way to travel from anywhere to anywhere during rush hour in less than half an hour. And when you get there, may you find a parking space. So we have all kinds of wishes for the new year, don't we? According to mygoals.com, they did a poll about people's resolutions for the new year, and they found out that 27% of the people resolved to focus on health and fitness. I thought it would be more like 90%. 15% resolved to focus more on personal growth and personal finances. 12% focus more on their career. 9% on higher education. 7% on home improvement. 6% on time management. 5% on family and relationships, recreation and leisure. We humans thrive on these moments in time when we can begin again, and no matter what topic it is. But it is kind of interesting what the priorities were, huh? But we like it when there are these moments when things can become new. There's a little nugget from Hebrew language that gives us an insight about this new. The word in Hebrew is literally Tyre, which maybe you can tell me how it's really said, T-A-R-I-Y. Tyre. And it literally means to be fresh or moist. So the word new, in Hebrew anyway, is not so much a second opportunity, but it's more about a fresh opportunity to taste, touch, feel, a quenching of the thirst, a whetting of the appetite of hope. Isn't that nice? It's a promise that the dew of the morning always comes again, the availability of new experiences, new boundaries being pushed, new heights being exceeded. So I come here today to be encouraged and to encourage you about the exciting opportunities that do lie out ahead of us for experiences that we've never had before, things that we may have worked for our entire lives that will be coming to fruition this year. Limits will be broken. Dreams will be manifested. The new year is a day for you and I. So let's embrace the new. So instead of just saying it's the new year, let's say it's my new year. It's my new opportunity. Maybe we get tired of making resolutions for the year because we've experienced that after a few weeks they just seem to fall away. But maybe one of the reasons that the resolutions do that is because we haven't found the right solution that underpins the resolution. In other words, long before a person can really have a happy new year, we've got to start becoming a happy new me, a happy new you. So that's what we're talking about here at Unity. It's a time to regroup and to remember who we are. To sing to the children, you are the face of God. To readjust our course according to who we really are. And to commit to our goals in this light. And then we really have a pathway laid out for us towards our wholeness and our health. When we ask for help from the divine realms, who we remember have the intention for all good things. At some Unity churches they say it's all good all the time. Because it's all held in the arms of the one love. That's why. So we're entering into the new year in this kind of mindset, and we're going to sing one of my favorite songs, maybe from your past it is too, but One Love by Bob Marley.
Norma, maybe we should just change the greeting to Happy New You.
Happy New You!
Sure, you know the chorus. Would you sing with us? One love, one heart, let's get together and feel alright. Yes, do it again. One love, one heart, let's get together and feel alright. Let them pass all their dirty remarks. There is one question I'd really love to ask. Is there a place for the hopeless sinner who has hurt all mankind, just to say, hey, there's own, hey, hey, yeah, one love, one heart, let's get together and feel alright. Hear the children crying, one love, hear the children crying, one heart, give thanks and praise to the Lord, and I feel alright. Let's get together to start this beautiful new year now. So when we walk our path, we can say, all is well. We need each other to keep on walking. We can give each other hope. We can give
have visions for the world and how our community and our world can be a happier, healthier place. Well, here we are in 2015. We've had a lot of lead up to these years that we're in right now of manifestation, because we spent a lot of years in the 2000s talking about the coming of 2012. The ending of the Mayan calendar, the ending of time as we know it. There were a lot of prophecies. And we're in those times after 2012, post the end of time as we know it. So we are in a very fresh, very new time. How many of you are kind of feeling that in your life? Really fresh, really different, new things are happening. So I'm going to have two prophecies read for us right now. One is an ancient prophecy from the Hopi, and it was about the ending of time as we know it. And then another prophecy is by a current friend of ours, Sulara, who is the founder of the Circle of Terran, and she's since moved to Hawaii, but she used to come and be with us here at Unity sometimes, and she gets things channeled through her. So she sent me last night her channeling for 2015, and it was 3 pages long, so I just made a little excerpt out of it. And we're going to have Karen read that in just a moment. But here, we'll contrast it with the Native American Hopi prophecy from of old with a modern prophecy. So here's what the Hopi said. The ending of time as we know it will come. It is only an ending of time as it is presently perceived. What it's doing is allowing for humankind's entrance into forever. Our prophets speak of tears and holes that are appearing in the perceptual field of the time-space illusion. Tears and holes that are appearing in the perceptual field of time-space illusion. These doorways allow for us to have the feeling of actually walking through walls, because doorways are opening for humans to pass through things they couldn't pass through before into new realities. Then we will come to the ending of the imbalanced relationships with nature and the earth. The prophets speak of a new perception of our relationship with each other. They speak of humankind entering into a new age of no more wars, a golden millennium of peace and harmony. They speak of the return of the good red road. Aho. So we hear in this prophecy about walls breaking down, things that have appeared solid that we'll be able to walk through. So there's a great song that we're going to be singing together now called Break Them Down. Break down those walls. So it's like, inside of ourselves making a commitment. Yes, I'm going to be walking through these doors, these portals. I'm going to let these walls inside of me crumble.
This is a... This is a song that I'm going to teach us all as a continual song, but then we're going to break up and do it a little bit as a round, and it's very powerful, just like the gong that we're going to hit today, similar to the shofar, the ram's horn that we blow at the new year. It has the power to break through obstacles within us, and your voice, when you sing, really has the power to do that within your body in a real physical way, can heal you, and in a spiritual way as well, your voice, the resonance of your voice. So I encourage you to let it come out for the sake of your own breaking down and the sake of your neighbors breaking down in a good way. I promise. So let me teach you the words of the song. We're going to say, break 'em on down, break 'em on down, break 'em on down, these walls between us. That's it. Can we say it together? Break 'em on down, break 'em on down. Break 'em on down, these walls between us. And that's the whole song. I'll sing it for you. It goes like this. Break 'em on down, break 'em on down. Break 'em on down, these walls between Break 'em on down, break 'em on down. Break 'em on down, these walls between us. Beautiful. Second part goes like this. Break 'em on down, break 'em on down, these walls between us. Break 'em on down, break 'em on down, these walls between us. Break 'em on down, break 'em on down. Break 'em on down, these walls between us. Break 'em on down, break 'em on down. Break 'em on down, these walls between us. Break 'em on down, break 'em on down, these walls between us. Break 'em on down, break 'em on down, these walls between us. Break 'em on down, break 'em on down. Break 'em on down, these walls between us. Break 'em on down, break 'em on down. Break 'em on down, these walls between us. Break 'em on down, break 'em on down, these walls between us. Break 'em on down, break 'em on down, these walls between us. Ooh, you sound so beautiful. Okay, this is what I tell my singing students. Okay, now turn yourself up 20%. To really let that sound come through and break them on down. Whatever walls are existing internally, externally, that you would like to dispel in the new year, let's sing them out.
Are we ready to stand up?
And let's stand up. And I'm going to try something super tricky, which is to divide this middle
Now
section.
for 2015.
Are we on? As the golden age progresses in 1915, there will be more
2015.
I love historical drama. As the golden age progresses in 2015, there will be more and greater opportunities for the children of God to see more clearly, to open their eyes and hearts to love, light, and truth, to create their own reality, to paint upon the canvas of their lives, choosing the colors from unlimited palettes. As the year progresses, the institutions which are built upon foundations of illusion will crumble and fall. Then the rebuilding of these institutions based upon foundations of truth, light, and love will be able to move forward. Much illusion, much pain, much fear will be brought to the surface of many so that these beliefs and structures no longer serve humanity. This is not a comfortable process. As many experienced in 2014, there may come even greater separation between the light and the darkness. This duality serves the purpose of allowing all to choose their path, that of love or of fear. All things are of God. It is all a matter of individual choice and free will. Every event in life is an opportunity for growth. There are no wrong choices, only the opportunity for and the blessings of greater wisdom. This process will continue on an individual and global level as illusion and darkness are cleared from the realities which are coming together this year in enlightenment. Eyes and hearts will continue to be open in this new year to the truth that we are love, we are one, we are co-creators with Mother, Father, God. We are co-creators with Mother, Father, God.
We clap for the hope of that prophecy then.
Make of our hands one hand. Make of our hearts one heart. Make of our vows one last vow. Only death won't us now. Make our lives one life, day after day, one life. Now it begins. Now we start one hand, one heart. Even death won't part us now. Make of our hands one hand. Make of our hearts one heart. Make of our vows one last vow. Only death will part us now. Make of our lives one life, day after day, one life. Now it begins. Now we start one hand, one heart. Even death won't harm us now.
It's a beautiful song, isn't it? You did such a beautiful job, Cerise. I often have that song sung at weddings. One hand, one heart, make of our lives one. I'm having it sung today because isn't that our vision for our world? That we would come into this feeling that we've had in our hearts for another person, that kind of love. That kind of love would expand, and that we really would feel a union and a communion deeper than we've ever felt all across the planet for other human beings. I was very blessed in my 30s to live in Japan for a few years. And my favorite time of year there was the New Year. Because on January 1st, it was very magical to be there. There was a big lead up to creating the feelings that came about on January 1st. For example, every year all of the people of that whole island spend about a month cleaning out their closets, cleaning everything up, and getting rid of things. And they would wrap them up in nice little packages and put them out on the curbside. So us young foreigners that lived there, we loved that time of year for that reason, because we'd go around to all the rich neighborhoods and find all these presents wrapped up for us that were there gomi. They called it garbage. So it was pretty fun. Oh, but another thing they did was that they had a 24-hour period on December 31st leading into January 1st where they made a rule that nobody would drive a motor vehicle in the whole country. And the impact of that was tremendous, because truly when you got up on January 1st, the air was so fresh. You could really feel the difference in the city, all over the island. So their preparation for New Year's was called O Omisoka, honorable preparation for New Year's. And in this period of time, they would really celebrate that humans have an opportunity to turn the wheel of karma and create the effects of a great cleansing that even could address the air quality. And on New Year's Eve, every person, every member of society, from the very rich, from the emperor, rich business people, to the very poor, to children, every member of society would get all dressed up on New Year's Eve and go to the temples. And there at the temple, all in their kimonos and New Year's beautiful garments, they would ring the 108 gongs of the great temple bells. So all over Japan, the gong, the vibration of these giant bells was ringing. And all of the people were pausing to receive that. Can you even imagine the impact of that? If everybody in the United States really did that on New Year's Eve, wow, what would that do to have that reverberation of repentance, of thinking about what we're letting go of and letting pass away, falling off of us, shedding the old so that a higher frequency could be taken on. It was an amazing experience, and I was very blessed to participate in it. So about 10 years ago, we started doing it here at Unity, having the big gong that Richard owns and having us experience together the 108 gongs. So we'll be doing that a little later in the day. But the purpose of it is to bring us, along with all the Japanese people, along with whoever's doing it all over the United States. As I look it up online this year, there are many, many people all over the United States now doing this 108 gong on the New Year. So our purpose is to join in the consciousness of the potential of what can come on this planet, one heart. Well, in my 20s, before I went to Japan, I was feeling really beaten down by the old story of what I call the aberration of Christianity. I was told that I was bad and sinful one too many times. And as a result, I was getting really low self-esteem. When you're a young person, you're especially vulnerable to that, I think. You know, you really need a lot of encouragement to be yourself, to find out who you are. So I found through my theological studies that I wended my way to finding out about Buddhism. And I was so relieved because I found there that they taught a way to be relieved of your suffering. So I never threw the baby Jesus out with the bathwater, but Buddhist teachings did really bring me a healing of the heavy shadow of the distortion of the Christian religion and helped me to find a way to retell that old story of Christ in a new and life-giving way. And that's why I appreciated finally coming to the Unity community, because we come here to get encouraged to think new thoughts. It's called the New Thought tradition. So, wow, to be in a spiritual community where we're encouraged to think new thoughts and to say that God is still revealing things, that it's not, the story's not closed, the book's not closed, it's all still in process. And we also tell each other that this isn't a time to waste our time worrying, to be mired in discouraging attitudes or low self-esteem. Because the spiritual story that we're exploring is one that we are one with the Creator God. That we can set intentions that have huge reverberating effects that it is a fresh new day, and that our hope is real. So we have a great comfort and encouragement that we experience here amongst us. As we look over this past year, yes, there may have been times of suffering in our lives, yes. And there may have been moments when we made other people suffer. And even plants and animals have been made to suffer all over our planet. So we're not insensitive to this when we turn toward hope in the new year. But the hopeful key is, if we know how to approach the suffering, we'll be able to profit from it. If we know how to set our goals and then walk the path step by step, rather than just making New Year's resolutions, but to walk in a spiritual practice that gives us a real hope that's grounded in truly healing ourselves and healing those old wounds, healing the wounds of the aberrations of religions. You know, lots of people say they're recovering this or recovering that. Well, yes, we are recovering. We really are. All over our country, all over the planet, we are recovering from a lot of oppressive ideas about God and spirituality. So if we know how to take a hold of what comes to us and work it like a garden, Thich Nhat Hanh talks about this, like a gardener. He says it's like being an organic gardener. If we know how to work with the garbage, then we'll get a lot of compost for the growth of our vegetables and flowers. It's with the compost of suffering that we can nourish the flower of understanding, of peace, and of love. Isn't that a great way to look at the difficult things that happen in our lives? That we can learn how to manage our suffering, how to cherish our suffering even so that we can transform it into the blossoms of renewed power and love. Buddhist teacher Pema Chodron said about her teacher, "She showed me the brightness of the world." Of course, by brightness, she wasn't just talking about all the good things there are out there to enjoy, like food and travel and sports and family life. No, she was talking about this deeper brightness, this happiness that comes from within, the brightness that shines in our human souls. We have to deal with the suffering around us in such a way as to get on with the business of who we really are, not let our suffering keep us from fulfilling our destiny as bearers of this brightness, this bright light that's in each one of us. My mother has always encouraged me by saying, when have been in difficult moments, when one door closes, another door opens. How many of your mothers or fathers have said that to you? When one door closes, another door opens. But sometimes I feel like saying, yeah, but it's hell in the hallway. So as we step over the threshold into this new year, I want to encourage us not to wait around in those hellish hallways for that closed door to open. Let's start opening some doors. The Persian poet Rumi said, "The door of the one who created the world is always open." The door of the one who created the world is always open. Here's a new translation of the poem that this is in. It starts, "Don't go back to sleep. The early breeze before dawn is the keeper of secrets. Don't go back to sleep. It's time for prayer. It's time to ask for what you really need. Don't go back to sleep. The door of the one who created the world is always open. Be empty of worrying. Think of who created thought. Why do you stay in prison when the door is so wide open? Don't go back to sleep. Let's open the door." Thank you, Rumi. Well, it reminded me of one minister I heard who told the story of one night in the midst of a crisis of faith. He returned to his study in the church, and a young maintenance guy, a staff person who was of his Latin American descent, whose name happened to be Jesus, that's spelled J-E-S-U-S, had left a note taped to this minister's door, and it said, "Dear sir," the pastor read it, "do not close the door. Signed, Jesus." So the pastor took it as a sign, and he recommitted himself to leaning into his relationship with God and taking risks with his faith. One of the great things about being in unity, though, is that we can hear the story and we don't even need the note to be signed Jesus to take it as a sign, because to us, all the names of any person who come into our lives can be calling us to be in relationship like this, to a deeper relationship with the Spirit of life, in which we can agree with one another to, let's open the doors. Let's not let these walls come up between us. Let's not let the doors close. Can we open the door? A friend in our congregation, Liz Cravens, how many of you know her? I just found out something big has happened to her over the Christmas vacation. She was visiting in California and she fell off of a high porch and fell 2 stories. She's young, she's only in her 40s, and she broke many bones in her body, her femur leg, her ribs. And the reason I'm bringing it up, for one thing, is to tell you about it so you can pray for her. She's still down there in the hospital, and she'll be returning up here on January 15th, and our community always gathers together around these needs and helps to take care of people that things happen to like this. But I'm telling you this story because this could be a real crisis of faith for a young, active woman. But I've been getting texts from her, and she's been writing a blog, and you wouldn't believe how amazing and hopeful that these texts are. They're a real inspiration, because she seems buoyed up by grace. She's not closing the door of her heart or even seeing this as a hell of a hallway to be in, but she's flinging the door wide open to whatever this whole experience has to offer her. And it's just amazing to witness that in a person. In the prophetic book of Revelation, it's written, "Behold, I have set before thee an open door that no one can shut." This is in a prophetic book of Revelation, you know. This is what's out ahead of us. Spirit is saying, "Behold, I have set before thee an open door that no one can shut." This might be just another one of those aphorisms that we tend to discount and not really believe it. But what if we really believe this? I have set before thee an open door that no one can shut. What if we choose to act as if we believe this? Let's walk through the open door that the universe is presenting to us that we heard about in that Hopi prophecy. Behold, I have set before thee an open door that's opening holes in our perceptual field. We're being able to see things that we weren't able to see before and feel things that we weren't able to feel before. It kind of reminds me of Dorothy, who said, "Toto, I have a feeling we're not in Kansas anymore." Isn't it kind of feeling like that these days? Or as the author of the Monster High children's book describes the little girl Melody, saying that she would never forget the strange emotions that she was feeling of hope and excitement and fear of the unknown. And all these were tightly braided together, creating a fourth emotion that was impossible to define, but she tried to define it. And so she said, having this second chance at happiness is tickling me like I'm swallowing 50 fuzzy caterpillars. So it can kind of feel uncomfortable in a weird kind of way, what's happening in 2015. But when we begin to see that there are these moments of choice, moments of intersection or transition, points of entry into new possibilities, new experiences, we begin to see doors opening everywhere. And there are choices to make. Which door will we go through? That's where our inner guidance system comes in. We really have to spend time in silence and quietude to tune in to our inner guidance system so that we'll know at any particular moment which one of these doors we're supposed to walk through. You're probably familiar with the American poet Robert Frost, right? Who wrote The Road Not Taken. And this reminds me of it. 2 roads diverged in a yellow wood, and sorry, I could not travel both and be one traveler. So long I stood and looked down one as far as I could to where it bent in the undergrowth. And then I took the other, just as fair, and having perhaps the better claim because it was grassy and wanted wear. But as for that passing there, had worn them really about the same. And both that morning equally lay in leaves no step had trodden back. Oh, I kept the first for another day. Yet knowing how way leads on to way, I doubted if I should ever come back. I shall be telling this with a sigh somewhere ages and ages hence. 2 roads diverged in a wood, and I took the one less traveled by. And that's made all the difference. Opening the door to the road less traveled by in your life. What will that mean for you this year? Think about it. But I just want to mention too that there are times when we're leaning against what we thought was a solid wall, and it can turn out to be a door. And we might tumble through a door that suddenly gives way. That's what happened to Liz. She was leaning on a railing, and she tumbled through what she thought was a secure place. So that can happen to us. We can be leaning on something that we think has been secure for a long time, and then a door that we haven't even knocked on opens, and we're beckoned to fall through it. And there are times when the door metaphor just fails altogether, when life is hard and then you die kind of thing. A friend of mine used to say, when the going gets rough, either it'll kill us or we're going to have a great story to tell. So in really hard moments, we still need to turn our attention to the possibility, the probability that maybe something else is going on here. And in those kind of moments, like we're seeing in Liz, intention might just make the tipping point of difference. Intention that all might just be well, that all might just work out for the best in a way that we can't even see or imagine and maybe not even know ever. So let's really cultivate the intention to look for the door, give the handle a good hard turn, step through the thresholds, and occasionally even fall through and throw ourselves through the threshold into something brand new. That's what it means to be faithful to a vision. Faithfulness asks of us the spiritual practice of courage, the spiritual discipline of giving ourselves to the possibility of the open door. When we come to our lives looking at each new moment as a door, even a moment of apparent upheaval and chaos will be transformed into a threshold. Over the Christmas holidays, Nisha and I had smooth travels as we went back to see my mother, but many didn't, and there were a lot of people stranded in the airports around the country. And I saw an entry on Facebook that really warmed my heart. Maybe some of you saw it too. But there were a lot of travelers stranded at an airport in Texas, and they were starting to get grumpy. And all of a sudden, these 5 men stood up, and they started to sing. And they weren't just any singers. They were professional a cappella choir singers. And they sang these exquisite Christmas carols in 5-part harmonies. And all of the people in the airport who had been really discouraged and sad and not getting home in the way they had thought they wanted to, all of a sudden felt like they were in the best place in the world they could ever be. And not only that, but this Facebook post went viral and touched millions of people all over the world. So I think this is just a good reminder that with intention, we can open a door that might even feel like a lousy closed door in the moment. The writer Elena Arnold says, perhaps that's where our true choice lies, in determining how we will meet the inevitable end of things, and how we will greet each new beginning. That's where the true choice lies. How will we meet the inevitable end of things and greet it as a new beginning? I was a substance abuse counselor for many years, and I know that people can be reborn. I know that renewal and salvation are possible in the lives of each of us, and that there are opportunities being held out for our community right now, too. When I have been looking over the finances of our little unity organism over the past weeks, I could look at it with a worried eye, because we haven't had too great a flow of finances. But then we put out a call for end-of-the-year donations, and one amongst you gave us a tremendously wonderful donation of $15,000. And we depend on that every year to carry us through the year. But for this coming year, I have a vision for Unity that we are going to move into great new places of financial prosperity for this organism, because we want to build an earth temple. We want to move into a building that I've seen in my visions and others in the community are seeing, and maybe some of you have seen. So I believe there's a door opening. We've been tasting it, feeling those caterpillars inside of us that are making us feel strange about it, but there's something wonderful happening. So I believe that our spiritual family can be reborn anew, and that we can come into something that's connected to what has been, but it's different from who we were in the past. It's a new day. It's a new year. What will we do together in this time? What will we co-create with our Mother, Father, God? When doors seem closed, let's look within and see what might be calling each one of us to come forth instead of standing in a bewildered way in an uncomfortable hallway. Let's together open our door to our greater creativity, and who knows what viral effect it will have and how many lives will be touched out there in the whole world. A poet once said, "We all want to break our orbits, float like a satellite gone wild in space, and run the risk of disintegration. We all want to take our lives in our own hands and hurl them out among the stars." My spiritual companions, I'm really happy to be here with you in this new year. Star beings all. Here we are, on this tremendous threshold of 2015. And as Rumi said, it's time for prayer. It's time to ask for what we really want. Don't go back to sleep. The door of the one who created the world is always open. Let's live as if we believe it. Behold, I have set before thee an open door that no one can shut. Out of the hallway and over the threshold, who knows what awaits us? The poet Rilke wrote, "And now let us believe in the new year, new, untouched, full of things that have never been." Let us go forth then, holding hands, with courage and faith. I'm so happy. I'm so grateful and so blessed to be in this new year with you. Should we just go into the Gongs? Just go right into the So by way of ritually enacting this door opening, we're going to have Richard come and actually carry out this ritual of ancient times. And the gong will be hit 108 times. Last week, if you were here, you participated in the wonderful burning bowl ceremony that Michelle led you in, and it was a symbolic ceremony of letting go of what was passing away. There's a lot to let go of, so it doesn't hurt to do another ritual here about letting go. We've got a lot to let go of. We've got our fears to let go of. We've got our judgments to let go of. We've got our ways that we think are right for doing things to let go of. We've got some animosity between different ones of our family members to let go of. We've got things that went wrong and that we wanted to go a different way to let go of and let it all come into gratitude. We've got to step through the door now into seeing everything in divine order, releasing the old perspective so that this new perspective can dawn upon us. So with the gongs, I'd like you to really feel the vibration as a higher vibration. And choose one area of your life. Just think about it right now. Choose one area of your life for the purpose of this ritual that you want to have a breakthrough in this year. It might be about your health, it might be about your job, it might be your finances, your relationships. Choose one area of your life that you want to have a breakthrough in 2015. And let these reverberations break down the walls. Break them on down. Let the grudges fall away. Let the unforgiveness fall away. Let the toxic memories fall away. We can change. We can change the way that we have been configured. So listen to these gongs. Let them upgrade you to a higher vibration, focusing on one area of your life that you'd like to improve. And see if by the end of these gongs you don't feel like you're tingling and you're vibrating on a whole new level and that you're entering into the golden age. And so it is, we have walked through the doorway and feel the difference. 108 is a lot of gongs. The 108 obscurations as I talked about, so they cover all the bases for anything that could get in our way has just been removed, okay? It's all taken care of, and we've walked through into a new time and place. Right before our final part of our ritual, we'd like to take the offering today, and Cerise is going to sing to us as the offering is being taken. Thank you for giving generously so that we can move through the door into our dreams and visions for unity in this new year. Together to bless the offering, and we say, divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. Thank you, sweetie. So it is. Up here on this altar, we have the sacrament. We have the symbols of joy and communion and union of our hearts with one another, with Christ consciousness, with all of those avatar beings who have stepped through the doorways and lived as bright shining ones, they ask us, Jesus, Buddha, Gandhi, Martin Luther King, so many ask us, won't you join me? Won't you come into union and have communion with the power that runs through the bright and shining ones? It runs through you too. So I wanted to have a little celebrative moment at the beginning of our new year here together where we do communion together. And we have a drink that's called Recharge. And we have dark chocolate with blueberries and other wonderful things. So the way I'd like to do this is to be singing together as we come forward row by row, and then you can get your communion and then go and stand in the big circle. So you'll come forward and take your communion and then form our big circle all around the room as we do it. And we're going to be singing some chants as we do this together so that there's a continual harmonizing of our voices and praising the union and the communion that we have here today with the divine.